Now then, car hunt for the Ferrari F40, and yeah, not a great car, but I said I'd chuck together just a video on this because yeah, there's two sets of guaranteed blueprints for this, and there's a way of touch driving this with little input but not with no input. I haven't made a video in a few days. A few people have noticed it on my channel, by the way, and if you did notice my absence, I appreciate it. If you know why, yeah, it's not been great, but yeah, I had a very close family member of mine pass away, and yeah, that's where I've been away for the last while, and it's also why I hadn't been making videos in the time leading up to that. But yep, I'm gonna jump back into doing some bits and pieces in this because it's a cool escape. But anyway, this car, Ferrari F40, horrifically bad. Car hunt, just in terms of the drop rate for this thing, a lot of people in my club have raced in excess of like 111 and 117 times. I think were the two times that people like recorded for how many runs they had on this. I said I'd give running a Maserati the B-Stacks. B-Stacks is pretty simple. Maserati is fairly heavy and clunky, can be a bit of a pain. But yeah, and then just show kind of like how I was touch driving this one. Just gonna put the Lotus Elise there going. You know what? Let's take a look here. So my Maserati is golden, but yeah, it's still not exactly the easiest of things to do, even at that. But you'll want to kind of do as many runs as possible you can for the guaranteed blueprints. But the Maserati, you really need to make use of the open drifting. That is to say, drifting while you've released the accelerator. So there's a couple of corners in this one, and there is only really a couple of corners, but you just need to make sure that you're not losing too much speed with this car. In this Zeppelin drop, you always want to be just pressing single nitro pretty much as you go over the lip, just so you land down. Most of the time you'll clip the car in front, and yeah, just pick up nitro from that. Just straight down here, and then open drift like I said, and then just slam into imperfect, open drift again, and shockwave down the main straight all the way up to the car's max speed. When you come through here, try and keep it as straight as possible. An open drift, and then imperfect down into this tunnel. And yeah, you really need to just kind of keep the car as straight as possible here. It's possible to do most of this here with just releasing the accelerator and then just kind of knock over the middle edge and then straight back again and towards the finish line. A second and a half to spare under the 44 seconds with the Maserati is possible. So like, yeah, I've seen some people saying that they cannot get that even at gold under 44 seconds. It's definitely doable. It's just a case of that car is heavy. And yeah, on such a short track, you really have to just avoid losing speed on those corners. That should be enough for me to unlock this absolute awful thing. But yeah, that's blueprint number 35. I knew it was going to be the guaranteed one. And there's a car at 1 star at least for me. Oh, it like if you've raced with this thing in the multiplayer, you've seen the fact that even at 5 stars maxed, it's an okay car. Realistically, it's a supercar from 1987. So I mean, it's now like in excess of 20, going on 30 years old. When I say going on 30 years old, it is over 30 years old. But yeah, it just really like it is an old supercar. And that is kind of reflected as well in the fact that, like, yeah, it's a class C in the game. It's handling realistically, like, this is from a time before cars would have like computerized braking and like, yeah, traction control on each individual tire and stuff like that. It was when a supercar was just a giant engine and 4 wheels, and like, yeah, I think they reflected that fairly well in the game, and the fact that it's fairly rickety at times when it's going around corners. It's fast, it is fast, but definitely it's missing quite a lot of the modern kind of bits and pieces. But yay, got it unlocked. Now then, looking at the actual car though, and say the next rank. So it's 35 blueprints to unlock it in the first place. And yeah, that's kind of a bit of a nightmare. But you can see then, say star number 2, once you do actually get it, is just 15 more blueprints to get that second star. Then it starts to ramp up again. So you've got 21 for that third star, 28 for the fourth, and then yeah, it's another 35 for that fifth star. But just know that once you kind of get the thing at least unlocked, that second star should come quickly enough. It's two and a half to 3 days in now, and I just have those first 35 unlocked. I still obviously have 5 to come here from the guaranteed ones, and 3 more from the club rewards as well that'll be coming in. So like, it's probably going to be possible for me to get this up to the 4th star. I'm not sure if the 5th one is realistic without like taking a look at buying a couple of packs or so. And I don't know, will I be doing that? But yeah, definitely this is one where you're going to have to like farm and farm and farm if you want to get the car unlocked in a decent state. I'll do a run with the Beast X, but if you have this car unlocked, that's probably like one of the easiest guaranteed blueprints to get. Like, Beast X is, yeah, it's a beast, but it's a car that's designed kind of for a short little track like this. It's pretty cool. Aerial atom body in this car, if you know the British kind of basis for what the car is based around. It's a sort of a custom kit car that people get and just, yeah, do up themselves around the same body, but incredibly powerful engine in the center of the Beast X. Ooh, get like one of the F40 stuck underneath the wheels. But this is a car that it definitely benefits from open drifting, but it's not as required as the Maserati for getting this 44 seconds time. I just did it twice, but yeah, this is, like I said, it's a car that's more capable of getting, even misjudging a corner. This should absolutely still be perfect for that 44 seconds. This main thing is just inside the tunnel area here. Again, just not turning too much going through here. It's just a case of you only need to go just barely over that lip in the center and then back. Like, if you overcorrect way too much there, you can find yourself zooming back and forth. And yeah, that's like 3 seconds that are good, and I completely messed up on the right corner before coming around. But obviously that's a golden version of Beast X. But again, with 2.5 seconds to spare, you should be able to get away with that. Even at 2 stars, I would think a Beast X would be able to do it. But yeah, there's the first of the 15 next blueprints. Oh, that drop rate, so bad. Now though, as for like grinding this out for the rest of those blueprints, what I've been using, it's possible to do it with the Honda Civic if you've got that car tuned up to, say, like the gold. Probably 3 stars will be able to touch drive this, but it's not exactly the best of cars for it, because the Honda Civic tends to roll a small bit, especially going into that last portion. Yeah, I've seen it in touch drive, bouncing down those set of steps and just really badly messing up. The car that I've had way more luck with this one is, yeah, Lotus Elise Sprint 220. Throw this into touch drive, and it does require a couple of inputs. Now, if you want to do this with no inputs, it will 2-pack this pretty much every time. So it will get you 2 packs each time you throw this into it. But if you've got the Legend Pass, say, it's got a 7-minute refuel time, 7 fuel units, really, like, it's probably the best bet for this one, if you have it up to the max stars at least. But all I'm doing with it is nitro at the start to just leapfrog over those other cars, leave it go down to the end of the first street, and as soon as you see the car beginning to turn itself, just hold the drift button. So it goes turn, hold drift, and imperfect forward. Even with the AI getting in, again, hold, and then just, I use the shockwave there because it gained it, but it should, even with a fairly bad interaction with the AI, I'm just going to leave it run, but it should still beat the 47 seconds, because the Lotus Elise in this portion down here, so even again being impacted by AI several times in this is like worst case scenario. And yeah, so it skips over inside there really quickly. In comparison, the Honda Civic, if you leave it, like, if the Honda Civic gets impacted like that from the AI, it will probably fail at the time. It's not well suited for it. Whereas, yeah, the Elise, like I said, that is a worst case scenario there, where you have like a load of interactions with the AI, and like they push it straight off the road there, and all you need is just, like I said, imperfect, then drift again, and imperfect. Well, I did a shockwave, but I just took it out and just put it into the standard yellow state. But again, the AI like just grinding against the car multiple times, and like a second and a half to spare with this, just because that car is way more suited to getting that 47 seconds time. You can do it with this Honda Civic again, but if you have interactions with the AI, I found that the Civic will kind of get a 2-pack quite a few times, definitely way more than that. The Lotus Elise, and the Lotus Elise is a far easier car to actually get your hands on as well. But I haven't tried it with many of the other ones, because like I said, that Elise is 7 units of fuel and 7-minute refuel time with the Legend Pass. So just been throwing this at it again and again and again. In terms of the like best way of getting this car unlocked, say if you have the special event going on right now for the like pretty much anything else, say here, so like the F8 Tributo, I would advise just kind of leaving this alone for the time being while the Ferrari F40 car hunt is on. So obviously like this will stay available for quite a bit after the F40 hunt is well done. So rather than coming in here and spending loads of tickets on that, just because I think the first stage needs to be farmed out 15 times, I would say instead just to put those tickets into the F40 hunt. In the same way, you've got the Endless Emotions Part 1. That's going to be here for the next 18 days. It takes 3 tickets per. So I've done it once or twice. I just did it with a few of the cars. But I would advise, again, just keep onto the tickets from this instead, and just pump those all into the actual F40 hunt, because 1 run of that is 3 runs of the F40 hunt. The other thing you could do is, instead of buying packs, if you are kind of like just playing your Switch in quite a bit, instead of buying these packs, so this is 750 tokens for a single 10 pack, which will probably get you 3 to 9 blueprints. What you can do instead is use those tokens to just get yourself more tickets here. So like 750 tokens will real fuel your tickets. What's that, 15 times? So you get 150 runs out of doing the F40 hunt, and you'll get loads of import parts, blueprints, credits and stuff if you do that. So like you would, as long as you have the time to actually put the car into touch drive and say using the Elise like I did, you will get a lot more blueprints out of it if you use those ticket refuels instead. But I said I'd just try and jump back into making a video on this. F40, it's an okay car, but it's definitely one of those ones where, like, while there's blueprints to be had, I would advise like trying to hunt them down more so than like some of the other events and stuff which are on at the minute. And say, for me, and thankfully enough, I've got to try and golded, for example. All these cars, they're just some trade coins for me. So it's definitely a no-brainer on my account anyway to just go for the F40. Hopefully you find some handy tips and stuff inside this. If you did, as always, say it, sub button over my head, other videos for me here and here. It's been a while, like I mentioned at the start of the video, but guys, as always, drive safe and good luck in this hunt.